You know how I love the practice of asking myself a series of questions before I make a purchase to avoid an impulse buy? Why don't we do the same thing with decluttering to avoid those decluttering regrets? Today, I've got a bunch of questions to deal with those what-if scenarios when we are looking to declutter a garment or not, how to work with multiples when you're editing your wardrobe, all the things. These questions are meant to slow us down and add consideration to the decluttering process. And this is important because we can often get into this frenzy of decluttering where we just want to like get rid of everything. And I get it. Some clothes do have a serious emotional attachment and they should be let go. But fashion has a serious waste problem and I don't want us to contribute to it. And I also don't want you to miss a really good piece that maybe you could have just styled a different way. My first question is, why did I buy this in the first place? What attracted me to it when it was on the rack? I just want to understand, what were the elements that you liked about it? Or did you have a specific outfit or a particular use in mind? When we start asking ourselves these questions, it either jogs our memory as to what purpose it was supposed to play in our closet, but it also forces us to look at the garment from a different angle. We're taking it out of its context. We could be looking at the shape, the texture, the color, is it the fit? And then we can understand if those are elements that even align with how we want to feel and how we want to look. For example, say you bought a blouse and you bought it because it has a really flowy silhouette, it's got a beautiful print, and it makes you feel sexy and romantic in it. Now we've completely changed the way we're looking at this garment. It's no longer just a blouse that we could wear with jeans or a skirt or whatever. It's actually elements. It's a tool that can help you feel a certain way. The second question is, do I have something that is similar and do I reach for that piece instead? This is a really good question to handle multiples. And I don't subscribe to the fact that you shouldn't have multiples or you should. It really depends on your closet. One thing you can do to dig a little bit deeper into this question is by taking all of your multiples out and determining if any of them have different iterations. So for example, if you have a whole bunch of different black blazers, are they all the same in terms of silhouette, texture, or details? And do they serve different purposes? The next thing you're going to want to ask is, if you're not wearing them all, which ones are you wearing the least? And the next question you want to ask yourself within this one is, if you're looking at your collection of black blazers, for example, where does this item fall in the spectrum of wearing it the most and the least? If you are consistently reaching for your other black blazers and they all serve a purpose in your daily life, but the one you're thinking of decluttering isn't, then that's a good indication that you could let it go. Or if it is a staple piece in your closet, what I would do is put it aside in a maybe pile, but keep it out of sight. Come back to it the next time you declutter and see if you are fine with the current black blazer collection that you have. My third question is, if I saw this piece hanging in a store, would I buy it? Am I excited about wearing this piece? And of course, if we've had this item in our closet for a long time, we might not be really happy and excited about it, but it could be an item that we do like to wear and that we feel good in, but we're not picking it up so often. So this is a very direction-led question that supports our intention of having a closet of pieces that we really like. This question also addresses those items that we might not have an occasion to wear all the time. So things like event dressing. I don't always have a purpose for a floor-length evening gown, but do I want to wear it when the time comes? Absolutely. I also like that this question could stretch our creativity a little bit. Perhaps instead of being an item that we might want to declutter, it becomes an item that forces us to get more creative with. So with an item like this, instead of decluttering it right away, if I'm still curious about it, I would keep it in my maybe pile, but in the visible maybe pile. I would hang it up with my go-to pieces and really make an effort to try integrating it. And if every time I try it on, I try it with my go-tos, I do all of the styling things, and if after a season or two of really giving it a go and it's still not working or not feeling like me, then we can make a better informed decluttering decision about it, and we could let it go. Question number 4 is a two-parter. Does it fit my current reality and lifestyle, or is it a fantasy piece? And you know what? It's okay if it's a fantasy piece. I think there's something to be said for having items in our closet that have a little bit of whimsy and magic to them and aren't suited to our current reality. But the follow-up question to this is, if it is a fantasy piece, am I willing to give up precious wardrobe real estate to keep it? For example, if I was looking at bringing in something else into my closet, would I be willing to let this item go? I like this question because it's rooted in reality, and our closet does have to work for us. But this brings me to my next question, which is this a toxic piece? So if it is an aspirational piece that we don't wear often, but we're willing to keep space for it in our closet, it's really important to understand, is this a good growth kind of piece? Will it stretch our creativity? Will it help build a new identity that we are working towards to better ourselves? Or is it like that toxic aunt that everybody has at the family reunion who's asking you why you're divorced, or why you don't have kids, or why you haven't lost a few pounds, or all of those things, you know? Like, is it taunting you every time you open your closet? Christina calls this bully pieces, and I think that's like the most accurate description. So if this is a bully piece, quote unquote, an item that makes you feel like you are not enough or that you are not worthy of wearing it, that's the kind of item that I would declutter. Or at least if you love that piece and you want to wear it someday, I would at least eliminate it from the visual space of your closet and find somewhere to store it when it's out of sight so that you can revisit it. I am all for setting intentions and personal growth and bettering myself and using visual cues to do that, but our clothes and our closet should make us feel good and safe and empowered. The next question is, does this item satisfy a practical and urgent need? So if this is a piece that you are wearing day in, day out, that maybe you're not in love with, but because of sizing, cost, or availability of a replacement, if that's prohibitive to you, then it's best to keep this piece in your closet and get really specific about what you want its replacement to look like. I don't believe in decluttering just for the sake of it. And while I don't believe we should settle for items that we don't absolutely love and feel good in, sometimes life just dictates that. But we can be proactive and learn from this current piece what we don't like about it, and be more proactive and make a better decision when we have to replace that piece. This is a helpful question for those what if or just in case scenarios. How likely is it in the context of your life that you will be called upon to wear this piece? Is it urgent? Is it really practical? This next question is, if I do declutter this piece and have a situation where I would have worn it, do I have something or pieces in my closet that I can put together that will get me through that situation or serve the same purpose? In addition to this question, here's an exercise that I love to do. I actually learned it from a friend who is a performance and wellness coach. She suggested I do this exercise when I'm dealing with a really worrisome scenario. She told me to play it out. Play out the worst case scenario and see what happens. And I've been doing this with my decluttering decisions, and it's been so helpful. Let's say I'm thinking about decluttering a really cute sundress that I bought on vacation in Europe. I don't wear it super often, but it has nice memories attached to it. It comes in handy when I take like very resort-inspired beach European vacations. I'm really not reaching for it every time I travel. I'm gonna play out a scenario where I might need that dress, but I've already decluttered it. So let's say I get invited onto someone's incredible yacht in the Mediterranean with little time to pack or do any shopping beforehand. Would I be able to find something similar in my closet? Would I need that really cute sundress to enjoy my time on this Mediterranean yacht? Probably not. I can already think of a few things in my closet that I could substitute. My linen button-up shirts, for example, if I zhuzh them up and accessorize them really well, I would feel just as good in those scenarios. However, this method doesn't always work if it's one of those situations that is is very specific. I'm thinking job interview, funeral, anything ceremonial perhaps, where a strict dress code does apply. That's one of those situations where maybe you hang on to the garment so that you're not stuck and you don't end up panic buying something that you're just gonna declutter again anyway. In those cases, if it's not a piece that you really love, but you have a true need for, you can store it so that it's not creating that visual clutter in your closet. All of our clothes carry some emotion and sentimentality, so decluttering anything is difficult, but I hope today's video helped and gives you clarity next time you have to do it. I'm always curious to know what questions you ask yourself when you're decluttering, so leave them in the comments below. Let me know if you like this topic. If you do, we are getting really into it in the membership community, and I also have a live Shop Your Closet event coming up where we will talk more about decluttering. As always though, we're gonna make it fun. We've got 2 guests. We're gonna shop their closets for some inspiration looks, spring-based. Actually, they're really good for like not beautiful weather, so that'll be really fun. I'll leave all the details for that in the description box below. And in the meantime, have a great day. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening or wherever you're at. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with another slow fashion video. Ciao.